My name is Janelle Carlson, and I'm here with Janine Ju, and we're here to level up your LinkedIn profile. And it would be great to make this more fun and interactive because, man, does it get boring to just listen to someone? So please share in the chat today your motivation for joining. Are you job searching? Are you an entrepreneur looking to open doors? Or are you just curious about your LinkedIn profile? Please just engage, and it will help us tailor the content to you. If the more we know about you, the more we can make it really relevant. So I would love to see some of the comments in the chat if you're able. And I'm feeling like there's a quiet crew here. Let me double check the chat. Awesome. All right. Well, I think we have a combination of entrepreneurs and job seekers here. Here's some job searching, which, many are, of course, on LinkedIn job searching. So let's go ahead and get started, because you're on LinkedIn, you get the importance of connections. It's critical to build relationships, so people know you, like you, and trust you to develop your goals if you want a job or you're opening doors. So I would love for you to share in the chat if someone in your network has helped you open a door, win a deal, or get an interview. Let's share some love. Like, yes, thank you to my connections, because it's your network. It's the connections that you build and the referrals that really help. And I see yes, and yes, we can, and job searching and curious. So, but yes, listen up here. Could you be throwing money down the drain?
The toilet.
No, it's not Janine. I'm trying to be entertaining as much as I can here. This is Janine and I here, and we help leaders get unstuck and level up. We met last year, and we were corporate gals, 20 years in corporate America, feeling stuck, frankly, burned out and spit out by a lot of companies. And we realized if you can't change the sandbox, it's time to build your own. So that's why we're so passionate about helping people like you feel supported and be your best selves. So today we're going to give you, some tools. We're going to help you take charge of your narrative, starting with LinkedIn. Introduce how you can build a network and knowledge. We're excited to share some new launch. And if you stay till the end, we're going to give you a free gift at the end of today's session. But I would like to start with the basics, because your personal brand matters. And here's some really revealing stats. 3/4 of Americans, I know we have an international audience here, and this will fall over into other countries, but 3/4 of Americans say they're more likely to trust somebody who has an established personal brand. And that personal brand benefits the company if you're a founder or an executive. They're more likely to trust, buy from, and recommend the company if the leader has it. So it's a win-win. So I just wanted to level set and start that before we go into LinkedIn, because this is a channel for building your personal brand. And we want to start out with your LinkedIn profile as one of the means for that, because there, of course, are many others. So again, in the chat, and Janine, if you can help me kind of take a look at some of the comments that we're getting, I would love to hear, if you're active on LinkedIn, the current state of your profile. You can share some of these or your own commentary, but some of the options I've posted here are like, I have a profile barely, my profile is not optimal, or I have a rockin' profile. And maybe you're just trying to get like a nudge better. So please share where you're at. So we can customize this for you. And I see some people, they're job searching and always looking to improve. Maybe a little bit of, not so sure if I measure up.
So if I could just add a comment here.
Yeah.
So I was reluctant before I met Janelle. I was reluctant to change my LinkedIn profile. I'm like, I like my San Francisco city picture. Da, da, da. And so I haven't fully optimized it yet, but it was really funny how you're like, no, Janine, you need to use that headline, and so I put AI engineer, DevRel. I am just like astounded how many people, and not just the people who are selling stuff, but I'm like, oh, wow, I'm hearing from recruiters and stuff. And it was just that little change made a huge difference. And I haven't even fully optimized it yet. So I'm really looking forward to, yeah.
Wow, there's a lot of people who are like, mine is already rocking. So kudos to you for having a rocking profile. And I think people are getting better and better at this, but we're going to go through some of the fundamentals. And the first thing first is I'd like to also level set of why. Why do we care about LinkedIn? I mean, really, if you target businesses, you should care. Because if you're a job seeker, an entrepreneur, this is where the business influencers are hanging out. It is the number one platform for B2B. And there's decision makers. 4 out of 5 LinkedIn members drive business decisions, and they have buying power. So it is the sweet spot for B2B and for the audience for job seekers and entrepreneurs. Doesn't mean you shouldn't have other channels, but this is one you should not ignore. So let's dive into the fundamentals of leveling up your profile. And if you haven't already connected with me on LinkedIn, I welcome you to do so. You can follow along on my profile. I'm going to give some examples here, but I'm going to share the slides as well. So the first tip, number 1, is your profile picture. Yes, it is your first impression, just like walking in a room for networking. And people take like a 1/10 of a second to kind of start making those first impressions. So we really recommend that you have a clear headshot that's not distracting from your face. And that's why we recommend solid color backgrounds, or at least, blurry or things that are not cluttery, because we want people to focus on you. We want to focus on, being able to see your face, get eye contact. Do you look professional and approachable? Because people want to work with people they know, like, and trust. And they're going to make an immediate judgment about you on that little tiny circle, whether they know it or not. So that's the tip number 1, is just ensuring, like, if you're too zoomed back and you can't see your face, maybe you want to zoom forward a little bit too. This is the biggest opportunity area I see for people, is the banner image, like Janine was talking about. It's like an ad. It's free space for you to talk about your value. And job seekers, I see many times just keeping it generic, like Janine's like, I like my cityscape background. However,
beautiful view.
it's pretty, but what is it telling about you other than you live in that city? People have very limited attention spans and they want to scan things. So it's an opportunity to just hit them hard, with clear, unique value. And social proof would be beneficial, or call to action. So you can see I'm always playing with my banner. If you go out on my LinkedIn, it doesn't look like this anymore. I started putting some social proof, and I'll probably change it again in another week because I don't know, I got OCD. But try to make it visually appealing and speak to you and your unique value to your audience. Third thing is the headline. And this is a really strategic part of your value. That first 40 to 60 characters, you need to make it count, because when you comment on anybody's posts, that's what people will be able to see next to your name and your little headshot. So you want to be strategic, state the problem you solve and what people will gain from you. And for job seekers, put your title or position, because that's where you'll be found more in those kind of recruiter searches. So again, I have probably updated this every other day, but this is my one of my current headlines. And the last part I want to cover is your about section. This is a part that you can tell a story that relates to your audience. So instead of kind of the, jargony 20 years experience, high achiever, yada, yada, Wikipedia sounding about section, bring people in with a strong hook. prove you understand the audience's problems, and highlight what sets you apart with your unique value. And I personally like to use the visual cues with, the emojis that got the X's and the green boxes, because people like to scan and not read a bunch of text. So spacing and using some visual cues helps people follow along. So that is the quick hit tips for optimizing and standing out with your LinkedIn profile. And now I want to turn it to Janine to share a bit more about what things she's working on that is going to help you.
Okay. And I promise, Janelle, I'll follow all your suggestions for any additional updates to my LinkedIn profile.
We're going to hold you all accountable, Janine. We have hundreds of people here going to hold you accountable.
So, yeah. Hi, my name is Janine Chu. I've been in engineering with a CS degree. I have so many degrees, I don't even know what I was thinking. But I've been in engineering for about 25 years. And as Janelle mentioned, we just met serendipitously like less than a year ago. And we were just so aligned. And of course, she's a developer's dream, because as developers, we're not really big fans of marketing. So as part of this community that we built, we're also looking to build tools that'll really simplify your life, whether it be improving your personal brand, getting more clients, etc. And we'd really love to hear more about what your needs are and what I can build. And can you go to the next slide? Sorry, I don't have both entrepreneur and job seeking, right? So again, what do you need most on LinkedIn? Do you need profile assessment, new banner, headshot redo, and headshot redo?
Yeah, share in the chat, please.
Hint, I am working on some of these, but I'm not going to tell you. But again, just making it so simple so you can focus on your passion, whether it be, providing, I saw somebody in the chat with CMO services, fractional CMO, or, helping people build their own business, or even getting a job. Wouldn't that be nice to just focus on that, what you're truly passionate about, and attaining that job, rather than like, oh, I got to build my brand, I got to change this, I got to do that. So really appreciate any feedback. Anything?
Yeah. So I'm monitoring, and I think there might be a little bit of delay in the platform.
Yeah, there is.
I saw a lot of other things coming up. So even though we can't see it all right now, I think would be really helpful for Janine to know your biggest pain point. I mean, is it like you just want an overall assessment of your profile, or, oh my God, that's like post creation that doesn't sound like overly AI, or whatever it is? Please share so she has that in her back pocket in development, because it's really critical for us to provide value to you. So please give us that input. Yeah. And so I want to also share what else we're working on under the Oak Bloom IQ umbrella is the Level Up Club. We are officially launching this club today, and it's a community for high achievers, entrepreneurs, and leaders that are ready to move from stuck to feeling unstoppable. And what we're so excited about it is we're bringing some uniqueness to a lot of what people can see out in the world. They can get ad hoc components. They can get an ad hoc tool, or they can get an ad hoc coach or a masterclass, but there's no cohesiveness or community that can build the connection so people can really thrive together. So we're making it really accessible. And there's also a lot of high ticket programs where you spend tens of thousands of dollars, and it's kind of still missing the mark. So we're really excited to offer this today. And as all of the people that are showing up here today, we want to have a unique launch pack for you. We're calling it the Unstoppable Leader Launch Pack. And we're going to offer to you some of the things that we do on the consulting level too, if you join our community. So for the first 10 that join, we're going to do a one-on-one LinkedIn profile review. And this is what I do with clients all the time, is sitting down and really analyzing how to improve and revamp your profile. So we'll do a mini version of that. Then we're going to give you some easy prompts so you can start getting magnetic posts right away and start showing up consistently and confidently on LinkedIn. In early June, there's also going to be a deep dive personal brand story masterclass. And this is going to be focused on your why, your uniqueness, and tailoring it to your audience. It's really deep. It's not, the what and how you do. It's getting into the why. So it's a really strong foundation of the story that can take you anywhere, whether you're a job searcher or an entrepreneur. It's the foundation for your content strategy. And then Janine is also doing more AI training, using AI to level up. I don't know, Janine, if you want to share anything about your thoughts on that.
Yes. I have a couple of AI masterclasses. Now, I know a lot of people know how to use ChatGPT, but an intro masterclass I have is just to how to improve productivity, automation with, again, tools, free tools we already have. But I think what's really empowering is for another masterclass I have is to leverage AI to build your own apps. We all have that, unique idea. We've all heard the story of somebody building an app and making $1 million. I mean, it could go from being a side hustle to an actual company. And I really want to provide the tools and resources for you in that class in order to accelerate development, to get to your MVP, to get to your first so many customers. And so I'm just really excited about that. So
thank you for that. And I did put, that should be popping up, a link to our Level Up Club. It's in the slide here, but there's a QR code that's also within Restream. So you can check it out. Like, you can go online, take peruse at the space a little bit. And what we're really excited about is for founding members, you're going to almost be like, joint advisors and co-creating some of this material. So what an amazing thing to have access to Janine and me and other people coming in so we can tailor things to you. And if you bring a couple of people into the founding member exclusive level, you can get your first year free. And if you just join by the end of the month, it's still a 67% off. It's only $48 a month. So please check it out. Take a look. We're so excited to partner with all of you on this, and we would love for your feedback. So the last thing I wanted to share before we get into questions is we did offer this kind of free gift for you, which is a guide that you can start optimizing your LinkedIn profile right away. It's a checklist. It's got links to some YouTube videos that explain some things. And this is an easy way for you to make sure that you're as optimized as possible. So that's our free gift to you. And I know there's a delay in the chat here. I would like to kind of transition and open it to questions. And Janine, I know that people were pinging us before with some questions and wondered if we wanted to just kind of talk through that as other ones come in.
Yeah, I found it really interesting, some of the feedback, how people are looking for fractional CMO, overall assessments, what kind of like a profile assessment post-creation, that's what's really important to them. So really appreciate that feedback while I go about building out these tools. It's really exciting. And in terms of the community, I think what's really powerful is that during these times, where the job market's a little, up in the air kind of thing, just having that support system, having access to myself and Janelle, some of the things that are really important is having our coding live sessions, like on a weekly basis. I already do that with a group of people, and it just really keeps you motivated and inspired. And also, I've always believed this for 20 years, that anyone can be a developer. And now with AI, that's really simplified that whole process to really just empower you to create your own vision and, make your own money. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm really passionate about it. So.
I hear your passion, and that's what it's even more exciting for me to work with you, because we both have big goals to do things for the greater good for people. So we're so excited about this. One other thing I wanted to cover that people have asked me, different clients, and I've seen kind of many times, is how we deal with ageism in our job search. So I know that there's many job seekers here, and it's a really weird time for a lot of things. And wanted to talk about, like how this just optimizing your profile and modernizing it is going to help you stand out. The current photo, frankly, I've worked with people that their photo is like 20 years old. So then all of a sudden you show up in an interview and it's like, oh, who are you? Just be current. It's like who you are. It's okay. But be fresh. Show you're up to date. So keep your skills leveled up, because it doesn't matter. Like, we can learn and grow forever. We're not done at a certain age. So show you're tech savvy. And if you do have career things that are on your profile that just aren't relevant anymore or strategic, remove it. You don't need to say you're a retail clerk in high school. You know what I mean? Like, there's some basic things. And I know, Janine, you get passionate about this too. Is there anything else I missed?
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people go through that whole process. I mean, it's really hard to prove, right? Whether it's ageism, et cetera. But, some people think that the job market just seems a little bit more difficult. So it's really hard to determine, whether that was the case with a particular job. But I truly believe that you can find the right job where they'll overlook that. I mean, when I was leading engineering teams, DevRel teams in the past, like age, I didn't even consider. Like, I've always had people actually who were smarter than me, older than me, and I didn't even put that into consideration. So for those of you who have been subjected to ageism, I just don't want that to discourage you if you do want to go back into the job market or stay in the job market. I truly believe you can attract, the right fit and the right company culture.
Yes. Absolutely. And
sorry, go ahead.
No, I just see we do have some questions in the chat, and I wanted to address Cheryl. Thank you so much for you giving us lovely feedback, and I appreciate it so much. I feel the love. Thank you. You said the headline image is a great idea. And other than the promotion of your current company, what other type of copy images are eye-catching? So I think you're meaning maybe the banner image. And yes, a lot of companies obviously really encourage their employees to promote the company. And you totally can do that if it serves you. But if you're trying to build your own personal brand, you don't need to promote the company if it doesn't serve you. You can have your own tone and brand and things of your thought leadership and value that you're trying to bring to life overall, and then create the creative and the headlines to work through that. So those of you who want to join the Level Up Club, this is the kind of stuff that'll work with you one-on-one. We can overhaul your LinkedIn profile, talk about some of the things that are important to you, your goals, and then, come up with some ideas for sharing your value. So I reshared the QR code for joining the Level Up Club, because that's part of the Unstoppable Leaders launch pack, is getting that extra added value one-on-one sessions. Let's see here. We have time for a couple more questions. How to attract recruiter approach for us for jobs. So when you are creating your story in your profile, I do think that you have a lot of cool tools now. You can use ChatGPT and other AI tools to upload some of your top, like I would say top 3 job descriptions that would be ideal for you. And ask it to analyze the keywords then, so you can integrate it in. And it has to come across natural. We don't want to have keyword stuffing that just sounds weird. But if you do that analysis and you integrate that in, and your headline is actually the job that you want, it's going to make you more searchable and findable for recruiters. So I hope, Hira, that helped you answer that question. Those are some other big tips.
I add something to that too. So when I made some of the changes, and I'll get to making the others on my profile, one of the things, I don't know if in the free version, I think I have premium, I don't remember, but they have the analytics version. And so it's just really fun to make an update to something, make a few posts. It's similar to what you would do in the past and see if it made a difference. But I know when I changed my headline and I changed my banner, I'd get more views on a weekly basis. So just have fun with it and try it out. It's just like, ooh, more people are seeing me today.
Yeah. And the cool thing, like, I'm always playing with it too. And if you're kind of tracking your engagement and people finding you and searching you too, you're like, maybe this is resonating more. And the cool thing about having a community and a club, like, you can get like more direct feedback from an engaged group of people that are going to help you, like, okay, yeah, this resonates or not. And if you have a strong following on LinkedIn, well, you could experiment, do a poll, like, hey, I'm trying to, come up with some new taglines about myself, like, give feedback or reach out to some trusted folks. But I think experimenting and giving ourselves grace to try some things is a new muscle that Janine and I are both practicing. And we encourage other people to do the same.
Oh, can you share some attractive prompt to level up LinkedIn profile?
Yeah, I mean, part of if you join the Level Up Club, and we do that one-on-one, I'm happy to go through that with you, and we can. I have various prompts also to share and use. I don't have them to share live right now, but that is something, the value that we'll add into the community. So thank you for that.
One of the things I learned from Janelle in terms of the prompts and what to post is just really focusing on being your authentic self and telling stories. I mean, that's just a high level, but I mean, obviously everyone's story is different, but I believe that makes a huge difference, especially if I comment on an article and something really touches my heart and I express my gratitude or appreciation. Wow, I really appreciated this one line. I think it actually says it in my last post. I actually got a lot of views for that. I'm like, cool. So
yeah. It's really, a lot of layers. And that's why the personal branding masterclass that we're going to do is taking through your why and your audience and your uniqueness. So when you know that those things about yourself, you then have a blueprint that you've created that you can use with AI tools. And that's magic, because if you just rely on, generic prompts with generic, that's the sea of sameness. But if you do the work that's foundational and you really know what your story is, and then you use AI, like, wow, you're going to be at a different level. No level up, pun intended.
Yeah.
And I think we only have a minute left. And I just want to share one last thing about the Level Up Club. We named it that for a reason, because we want people to thrive and we want to uplift others. And it's an inside out perspective. We want to help you show up on the outside, but also really get whole on the inside too. Because when you are so good within yourself, you are going to show up at a different level. So it's a little bit of a different approach than your standard, communities that are just one-sided. We are looking at it holistically. And that's another thing that I just wanted to share, because it's a passion that we both have, is bringing the body, mind, spirit aspect to it and an inside out approach. Because let's face it, we're all trying to navigate this world together, and why not be in a community that we're up leveling and lifting each other up at the same time? So that brings us a little over 1 minute over. I so appreciate everyone here. If you have any other questions, feel free to DM me on LinkedIn or Janine, and we'd be happy to share more And we'll be doing more of these. I think this Restream tool was pretty cool. I don't know. I hope it went well for all of you on the outside. But thank you so much for your time today.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, let me end stream. Bye.
Bye.